Have you ever wondered what are the difference between mentors, leaders, managers, colleagues, and what specific role they play in your professional success? Well, in today's episode, we're going to uncover what are the unique contributions that each makes to our professional tapestry. Welcome to Leading Intentionally, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of leadership transformation. I am Carmen Paredes, your guide in this journey, and I'm so thrilled to have you with us today. In each episode, we share strategies, insights, and stories to help you drive growth, enhance workplace culture, and lead with intentionality. Whether you are a seasoned executive, an aspired leader, or just someone passionate about positivity in the workplace, this podcast is for you. Each week, I'll bring you conversations with thought leaders, experts, and trailblazers that will share with you their insights, wisdom, and experiences so that you can apply these practical tips to your leadership journey. Get ready to explore topics like inclusive leadership, women's empowerment, effective communication, and so much more. If you're ready to lead intentionally and make lasting impact in your organization, you are in the right place. Let's embark in this transformative leadership journey together. This is Leading Intentionally. Let's dive in. I have named this episode Navigating the Career Constellation because as we progress in our careers and we climb the corporate ladder, we face a multitude of players that could help us for the better part in getting where we want to go. And these players are managers, leaders, mentors, and colleagues. But it could be very confusing and understanding what are the roles that they play in the success of our careers and the success of a company. It's very important. And that's what I want to talk about today. And I'm going to start with mentors because that is what many companies are missing. Mentors are the guiding light on a journey of a person. There's a study by Harvard Business Review that says that employees with mentors are more likely to stay with their organization than those without. And the mentor provides insights, share experience, and inspire you to surpass your limits. So I had my very first set of mentors because it was a group of amazing individuals back in 2001 when I was working for Hitachi Data System right out of grad school. And I was a financial analyst supporting the logistic organization. And I worked very closely with 3 vice presidents and the chief logistics officers. And I have to say that I am so grateful. These 4 individuals took me under the wing and they really helped me understand the corporate landscape because that was my first job in the United States after grad school. And without their guidance and mentorship, I don't know that I'd be where I am today. Then we have managers. I'm going to keep with the M's for a second. No particular order of things I'm explaining today. But managers are the architects of the structure of goals. There is a report from Gallup that says that managers account for at least 70% of the variance in employee engagement. Basically, if you have employees that are not engaged in their jobs, the first place as a company owner, as a C-level person, as a vice president, that you need to look is into their manager. Because there's a clear distinction between manager and leader, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But managers are that first contact with the employees, and the lack of engagement is usually attributed to them. Because that's what makes the difference with leaders, because leaders are the people who inspire a vision. They shape your organization culturally, and they set the tone for how the team performs. So when you have an inspired leader that uses intuition, intentionality, and authenticity to lead their teams to the desired destination, they get there so much easy and in much consistent, sustainable way. A survey by Deloitte says that 80% of employees believe leadership development is a critical part of their career. And that reason that quote is relevant at this part of this conversation is because many people get thrown into these leadership positions without the right training. And so they become managers or bosses. Because leaders is not a title category. Leaders is a set of individuals that can move the ball forward very intuitively, very hands off, just with their presence, with the way they talk to the employees, with the energy they exude. They're able to motivate the masses to take action because of what they stand for. And those leaders that can do that probably had good mentors. So hopefully you start putting things together. And then colleagues, guess what? Colleagues are not mentors. Colleagues are your companion in this professional journey, right? You might cry with them when something goes wrong or have a glass of wine when something goes great. They are not your mentors. They are not ahead of you. They haven't achieved what you want. They haven't encountered and solved and overcome problems that you are experiencing right now. They don't have the wisdom to tell you how to navigate through some rough waters. There's a study by Forbes that says that workplace friendships increase employee satisfaction, however, by 50%. And so it's important to foster collaboration between colleagues so they can help motivate each other. But why are we talking about this, right? Why companies should care about developing a comprehensive program that helps mentors be better, managers become leaders, and colleagues support each other? Well, it goes beyond the benefits for the individuals, right? The organizations really benefit when effective leadership development programs are in place, because there is a lot of data that states that companies with these programs outperform their competitions, and they will increase their bottom line, if any, by the simple fact that you will increase productivity and reduce turnover. So, how can companies create a holistic development leadership strategy? Well, here are 5 practical tips I want to share with you today. And the first one is to integrate leadership development into your culture. A well-rounded program should encompass mentorship, management, training, leadership development. And it should be done in a holistic way. So managers become leaders, leaders become mentors. Number 2 is you should encourage cross-functional collaboration. When you facilitate interactions between all these players, the mentors, the leaders, the managers, the colleagues, you will start seeing cross-pollination of insights between these players. And I've seen it many times how barriers in projects come down just because people start talking. And in this day and age where a lot of people are working hybrid or remote, this is more important than ever, because we used to have the hallway conversations, right? Or the let's go out to lunch. Or what about a drink after work? We don't have those anymore. So we have to, as companies, as leaders, make sure we foster and provide an environment in which people can collaborate with each other and get to know each other at a personal level. That's when the magic of relationship. This is the one thing that AI will never be able to replace, which is the human connection and the power that comes when we care for each other. And in that, tip number 3 is to use technology to make it easy on you, right? There are many digital platforms for mentorship, leadership, training, collaboration tools, right? This not only enhances the accessibility, which let's say that a group of people are working at the office and another group of people are working remote. it doesn't single out those that are not physically there, but it also make it easier for those that are engaged in these trainings, in these development programs, because it allows them for flexible schedules, which is kind of a thing lately. Tip number 4 is that you need to measure the impact, right? If it's not working, you have to change something. We're not going to create a mentorship program or leadership development program or manager training just to check a box. That's so 1980s, right? What we want to do is to create a program that meets the needs of your organization, of your bottom line, but also the needs of those employees that are craving the possibility of having access to someone who can genuinely help them. And so, one of the things that happen with mentorship is you almost need to pair very carefully who is going to mentor who. It has nothing to do with gender or levels in the organization. I mentioned that I was an analyst and I have a C-level mentor. And the titles didn't get in the way there. But what it needs to happen is that there has to be almost like chemistry, right? Both people need to be committed and wanting to be in this relationship. Specifically, when it comes to mentorship, this is more of a one-on-one relationship. One to many is more of a training. In mentorship, really, in order to be vulnerable, in order to be able to share the tough questions that a mentee might have, or for the mentor to share the tough feedback that the mentee needs. There needs to be safety in the relationship, trust that only really comes when you develop a relationship on a one-to-one basis. And last but not least is one that I haven't seen much in corporate America in my 20 plus years of experience, but it's one that I utilize on my teams all the time, and it's to develop a leadership mindset. And it basically means that it doesn't matter what's your title, what's your rank, which level of the organization you are the leader of your life, you are the leader of your career, you're the leader of your projects, you are accountable, responsible, and you should be innovative and proactive and always want to improve. And when people start adopting that mindset very early in their careers, because we cannot go to the parents and tell them to teach them that, but very early in their career, when you as a leader install that software in their program, in their conscious mind, by the time they make it to the point where they can be leaders, they're going to knock it out of the ballpark. So hopefully I got you a little intrigue on what it means to have all these different roles in your organization and why you want to have it. I casually just dropped there some statistics of how you could improve your bottom line by adopting some of these programs when it comes to mentorship, leadership, and management development. Employees are your best asset. And regardless of what AI is doing, there's still things that humans are the only ones who will always be able to do. And unfortunately, I see more and more how employees are being treated as if they were machines. They are not. People have needs, very basic needs. And when you meet those needs as an employer, as a leader, you will see in return how your productivity goes to the sky, how your team really gets engaged, and how you can create the results your organization needs. So this is another episode of Leading Intentionally. And until the next one, remember to lead with intention. Bye-bye.